All right. Okay. This night we are going to continue with logical functions. Going to look at VLOOKUP, and HLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP means vertical lookup, and HLOOKUP means horizontal lookup. So you're trying to find a value in a vertical data set and a horizontal data set. So that's what we are going to treat. But before then, we need to have a retouch of last lesson, because Ephraim we are requesting, which is an intelligent question for a larger data set, which I've captured. So let's dive into the lecture notes and take it from there. So when we treated this last night, we are trying to get an understanding of how we can use these basic functions, because this is a simple table, a simple data set, or we're trying to look at a bigger data set or a bit complex data set where we can apply the same function and get values. And that's the reason why I've decided to add a larger data set where we can add the same function, use the same function to query the data set and see the value we are going to get. And let's quickly look at this data and use sum and average to work on this data set to see how we are going to get total cells for different months and the grand total of all these cells. Ephraim, I hope this is the kind of question, this is what we are trying to ask.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm not asking about large data. What my question was when I watched the video today, I saw my question was that when you were solving for this if statement, I did not see when you input the data that brought the syntax that brought out the result. So that was from the screen here. But when I watch it, I saw it. That's just what I was asking. Because
Okay.
before you can get low below or above, and you draw it down, everything copies and get the same answer. There must be a syntax you key in there for Excel to recognize it before bringing out the sum. That was the sum. The syntax was what I was asking for, because I did not see where you put it. So it was when I watched it and I saw the syntax that brought out that result.
Okay. I think somebody wanted to know, I think somebody else wanted to see.
Mr. Ofo.
Yeah?
It was Mr. Ofo.
Okay, yes.
For somebody that says needed complex data.
Yes. It's Ofo. Okay. Let's just perform this quick, so we'll make sure that we are comfortable at every stage before we continue to excel. So this is you see the first is just a bit one line which we are trying to, but let's look at this, trying to get the total, let's say total cell here. We'll say total cell. And then let's use this equal to sum, and we get this is the total cell of January. And then if we want to get the total cell for all the other months, we autofill them. We call it autofill. We use this autofill. All we need is to draw it down to the other month, and you see it gives us total cell for every month. And then if we want to give, let's see here, give this grand total. We can use this as well. So that is it. You can see it's just simple, but it's not going to be for us to use one syntax to just get the overall is not possible. So this is the way we first get the total for every month, and then we get the grand total. So I think this is a bit clear. Alex, I think this has taken care of your worries or the question you asked.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, and equally, let's see, we want to get the average. Let's say total average. You see, that is the average sales per the month of January. And then you see per every month, you see the average sale per every month. And then if we want to get the overall average for the year, I think here what we need to do here is apply this here, say so that is it, the average sales for the year. I think this has taken care of if we want to work on a data, kind of a bit larger data sets or a bit complex data sets using these basic functions. let's move to what we have for tonight, which is VLOOK and HLOOK. So this is VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. So here the VLOOKUP is a logical function. If we are trying to search for a value in a column, a kind of vertical column, a specific value, we apply this vertical lookup in a table, and it will help us to pick a particular value. For instance, here, if we want to pick the department where any of these employees are working, here we see John, Alice, Bob, and Carol. If we want to pick their department, all we need to do is apply VLOOKUP, and we'll be able to get their particular department. If, for instance, this kind of syntax is very good, it's very handy in a very, for instance, in a very large organization where we have up to 2,000 employees, and there is a situation about a particular employee, and you have a data set for you to start looking for where the person belongs. All you need to do is apply VLOOKUP, and it's going to pick the exact department the person is working on. And you can apply it to other similar data set like that. So let's look at this simple one before we look at a larger data set. This is for employees and their department. So this is the VLOOKUP syntax. So this is the format which we can substitute the value. The value we are looking up will be here. For instance, we are looking for Alice. The value here, lookup value. We're looking up value for John, or looking up value for Bob, or for Carol. And then the array table array is going to be the A and 4. For instance, for this one, we are trying to get the array for Alice, which is in the marketing. So we substitute this with this A4, and then the column. This is the column number, and this two is representing the column. You see here we have two columns. So where we are looking is for the column. We are trying to get the department. The department is the second column. And then the lookup range is going to be false. So this is the logic here. So when we apply this logic here, we should be able to extract the value from the data set. Let's get this data set to our Excel sheet. Now, with this query, let's see here, we have employees. And this is a large data set, and we're trying to get for Alice. So you see here, this is the syntax. This will help us to get for Alex. And even if we do not put it in a column like this, so anywhere within this Excel, as long as we are putting this syntax here, for instance, even here, is going to give us the number as long as we picked Alex or any pet. So it's going to be the same thing. So you see marketing. So as long as here you see we capture the value we captured here is Alex, and then this is the range. That is the range here. And you see 2 is the index, and F is sorted here. So that is it. So this is what we substitute, and that is this is an example of it. So the value we are searching for, search key, is Alice. The range here is A1 and the A1 and B4. And the index, which is the column here, is 2, and this is sorted, is called force here. So that is how we can apply this in order to get this. And from my understanding, this VLOOKUP, you cannot use it to get multiple values at the same time. You can only apply it to get one value at a time. It's like using this value to get different, using this syntax to get different values of different at the same time. It's not working. I've tried it, but it's not working. So it's only one value at a time. So let's try this in a bigger data set as well. Okay. Have a larger data set, we can apply this. So at this point, the scenario here is that we want to get the department for David, Grace, and Jack. So we have to, for instance, this is it. What we're looking for here is to get for these 3 people who want to understand their department, and from these data sets, like I said, it can be a large data set within their organization. It can be where we have up to 2,000 employees, and we're trying to get the exact department for employees. And now we'll choose these employees who want to understand their department. So So you see, once we apply this syntax here, it's going to give us so it's going to give us the department for David, and we want to get others with autofill. And let's see, with the autofill, now you can get departments for Grace, and then for Jack, operation. With this, if you come here, let's look for Grace. Grace is IT, and then we come for Jack. We go down here, you see that Jack is for operation. So that's how we can use this syntax to query these data sets and produce their exact value we are looking for. The values we are looking for is for their department. And you can see how we can use this to extract information from a large data set. So that is what we use VLOOKUP for, mainly to extract information. You use it to VLOOK, it's vertical lookup. It helps you to look up for data in a data set, for value, specific value in a data set. That is for VLOOKUP. HLOOKUP is similar to VLOOKUP, But the difference with HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP is that HLOOKUP is for horizontal data and VLOOKUP is for vertical data. It's the same thing, but because the data is in horizontal and vertical, so you can't use the VLOOKUP syntax to extract data from, you can't use VLOOKUP syntax to extract data or value, to look for value in a horizontal data set. So that's the basic difference here. There's no other difference. So when we will be trying to do this, see, I provide a step-by-step approach on how to do that to make it easier for us. And the explanation of all the values we use in this syntax, like D2 is lookup value for employee name David, and then A1 B11 is the range of table. You see this table, this is the range of this table. The range from, if you look at it, is up to 11. From John to Jack is 11. So that is the range. And you see here is column A and column B, and then contains the employee names and departments. So that is the range of this table. And then B refers to the second column table. This is the second column table where we are looking for the value. And false, this ensures that an exact match for the lookup is extracted. So this is just a logic that will help us to extract the exact match. And once you been able to substitute this and put enter, it should be able to give you this information we generated here. So when we apply it here, you see it give us this particular value, just like I demonstrated in the Excel sheet. So that is it for VLOOKUP. So the next is the HLOOKUP, which is the horizontal lookup function. We are using it for a horizontal data set. So it helps us to search for information in a data set like this. If you look at the other one, it's vertical, but this one is now horizontal. So let's look at this basic one before we look at these bigger data sets. We need to find cells for February using this HLOOKUP formula. Cells for February. So because it's here is specific, says February. So if we use this syntax, it's quite specific. It's telling us that it's looking for this February. So even if we put it here and paste, it should be giving us. So you look at seeing it here, you see it's giving us. So yeah, it's specific. So if it's a large data and we use this, we should be able to get information about the particular the cells we have for this February. So it's very simple. But let's look at a larger data set to see what we are going to get. So in this scenario, we're going to look for products in the month of August. The month of August, this a larger data set. So to do that, the first step is to move this data in a is already in a table, so we are going to move it in an Excel and then go to the next cell and apply this particular syntax, and we'll see what we're going to get. Okay. We are not going to pick this because this represents cells, so we're going to pick only from the month. And this is the SYNH lookup syntax we're going to use. So what we're looking is for the month of August. For specific month. So if you are asked to get a specific month, that is it. So you can equally say this is yeah, August. So for the month of August, all we need without trying to for this sales product is for product B. We're looking for product B, the sales for product B in August. So we are specific about what we are looking for. So if you're looking at it, product B, and in the month of August, is it? That is what we're looking for here. But in a situation where we have this is what we're looking here. But in a data set like this can be a big value, have a large data set for you to start scrolling to get to see this might take time. So this is where this VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP comes handy. So all you need is get the syntax and use it to query the table, and it's going to give you the exact value you are looking for. So that is for VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. And so if we want to look for other months, we can use values like this. We want to look for product A in January. If you want to look for product B in February, if you want to look for product C in, so that is how to do it. And like I said, in this particular HLOOKUP, I tried to write a complex logic where we can get different values at the same time, but it's not possible. So it means you can only look for a value at a particular time. You can't. So that's what I tried to do, but it wasn't possible to get up to 4 values, or maybe say product A, product B, in different months using one single line of code to do that. It wasn't possible. So you have to look up for a particular value at a time. So that is my observation on that. But I'll still try to see if we can get a complex where you can, but for now, I couldn't do that, and I'm here to research. I don't think it exists. So that's it. And then before we go to conditional formatting, let me see if you have any question before we move on. Okay, Alex.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm trying to struggle to get this one, but I got it a little bit. So I just wanted to ask that in the VLOOKUP syntax and the HLOOKUP, some we're having February and the other logic there. So will it always be like that, or when you want to apply it in a big data set, you have to edit it and change it to the one that is applicable, or is a constant syntax that you have to use it the way it is? Like the one you are displaying now, HLOOKUP, we have February and A1. So is it always like this, or it is weird that it is the person that is querying the data that will now like edit it and change it to the one that's applicable based on the equation or the demand?
Like you see here, you see on this HLOOKUP, you see here I substitute this January with February, you know, and then the same data range is still the same data range. Are you getting it? Are you getting the edit? So you have to edit. You can't use, you have to edit it to get the exact value you are looking for. Like this H lookup for January within this range. This is a range. A1 and F13 is the range. And this value here is different from this. So you have to edit them to get the exact value you are looking for. So you cannot just apply it. If we go to the main syntax, this is just like trying to craft a code. This is the way the main syntax looks. So all you need to do is try to substitute this with the value you are looking for. And you see here, this is the simple example. This is the formula. Okay, let me say this is the formula. In mathematics, we have a formula. With that formula, you can apply that formula and you get results. So like this is the formula. All you need to do is for the value you are looking for, with the lookup value you see here is January. And the February, that is the lookup value we are looking for. It's a lookup value is February. And the range here is A1 and B2. That is the range. So if you come to here, this is a range. This is a range. This is A1 and B2. A1, this is D2, and this is A1. The cells here is A1, and then the table here is D2. That is what it means here. And here, 2 here represents the row. This is a row number. In Excel, we call this, we have this row. This is not a, we know a table is in a row and column. And vertical, this is in a vertical form. So this is the row. So this is the second row. And the second row is the 2 here. So it means the value you are looking for is in the second row. And then the range of lookup, this is always, this is a default, it's always false. We put always false here. So that is the main thing we were trying to understand here. The value, the range of the table, where the range within this is the range. The A and D12 is the range. And then this is the row. So the range here is, it is a cells and is within this February here is the D2. So that is the column D2. So that is how to apply it. And if you apply it, that's the only way you can get it. And I know it's going to be a bit difficult to understand, but is just the way it is. We have to just substitute this with this. That's the only way we can get this. That's the most a bit confusing within this logical function, but we'll just try to read it more and trying to understand it more. It's a code which we have to understand how to apply. So I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we have to just try to read it again, and if we are not getting it, we'll still give it another shot. But this is, for me, this is the most going to be the most difficult part of this Excel we are going to be doing. If once we pass through this stage, I don't think we're going to have any other issues. But this is very, very important. It's extremely important because it's going to help us to be extracting values from large data sets. And it's very, very important for organizations because it's helped to make the job easy, and not only that, to avoid error when you are trying to get a value. If you try to get a value using manual, it's going to be difficult. But when you apply a syntax or you apply a function like this, it's going to pick the exact value without any error. And the good aspect of it is that if you are making a mistake, it's not going to give you the value. If there is any error when you are trying to apply it, is the system will tell you that there is an error. So meaning if you are not getting it, you are not getting it until once you get it, it will give you the exact value you are looking for. And this will help us. It makes the job so easy, not just easy, but fast, without error. This is the main function, the main purpose, to get information, extract information from a large data set without any error and very fast. So you have this lesson notes and you try to play around. I know you are going to get there once we'll start trying things out. So I myself, I didn't grab it the first time, so I have to keep trying and playing around, and up till now, I'm still playing around. So that is it. That's the reason I provided a large different values we can apply, and we can customize them, and then by the time we start playing around, we should be getting hang of it. So that's it for now. Let's move and cover another thing for tonight. Maybe if we are struggling with H hookup, we can devote another time to give it another shot. Okay. This is we call it conditional formatting. Conditional formatting allows you to apply different formatting, color, font, etc. to cells based on the value they contain. This feature is helpful for highlighting key data point or identifying trend at a glance. So the main purpose of this is to give kind of visibility study, visibility to a trend. Help you to identify the trend within your data set for you to understand what is going on, where you have maybe more cells or what is happening around your data set. This is mainly what it's all about. It gives you coloration. And to do that is not that so difficult to do that. Okay, the first thing we are going to do is to highlight all within this. This is student scores. So if we're trying to get students with a higher score, maybe in this our boot camp, we have some of our boot camp will have like up to 500 students, we have like 1,000 students, and you want to pick some students based on their performance, those who have above 80, or for you to have a look of those, how the general performance, those that scores 80 in just at a glance. This is where this conditional formatting comes in handy. Companies can apply this to their cells to understand the months where they are doing well and the months where they are not doing well within a year. So, and this is very good for an organization if they want to have a glance. Mostly the executives, they don't have time for all they need is just to have a glance of what is happening. And then from the glance, they can start asking more questions about what is happening at a specific month or sales data or things like that. So let's dive into this one. Let's get this data set to so what we are looking for is for students that is scoring above 80. So we want to see them, and okay, to get started, we need to highlight the data cells, and then we go to formatting. Click here, you come down here, you see conditional formatting. You click on conditional formatting. It's going to bring up another dialog box like this for you to put your value. You see here is empty. This is where you need to select the value. And you see here the first is this range. The range you selected already is A1 to B5. This is A1. This is where you started. That is A and 1. So if we are confused about how this range, you are getting this range. If you check that when we are dealing for H lookup, they are using all this range. And if that's confusing, you see here, this is A and this is 1. So this is where we are starting, A1 and then B5. B5 is there. The second column is the B, and 5 is here. So you see, we cover this whole range. That is what this means here. That is the area, the data set we're covering. Then this is the format rule. We're talking about above 80s. So see here, scroll down, we say is greater than, is equal, is greater than or equal to, is less than, is less than, is so. These are various condition here. So the condition we're looking for is greater than, that is above. So, and the value we're talking about here is 80, above 80, we write 80. And then here we want to select here. We can select any color we want. Let's just select this green color. So we see is, and once we select it here, we click done. So that is it. You can see that you come back to this data set. We can see that above 80, those people that made it above 80 will have Alice, and we'll have Carol, and yeah. Then we can equally add more condition here. We can say below 80, we can give it another color. Maybe if we want to say that above 80 is the pass mark. If you don't like in some of this training, like Scrum Master, this thing, you need to score, I think, 80% before you can pass. Anything below 80, you fail. So in this situation, you can say that above 80 are those that pass, and below 80 are those that didn't make it. So you can add another condition here in this small table. And we'll go back to the format. Say here, go back to conditional formatting. So we have one conditional rule already, and then we want to add another one within the same range. And then here we're looking at below 80, and below 80 is less than 80, less than 80, that is the value, and we want to use the color red, and we'll say, and that is it, and we'll close, and there's. So you can see how you can use conditional formatting to analyze your data and give it visibility. So that is what conditional formatting does. And you can remove it from your data set if you want. If you want to remove the conditional formatting, you go back here to conditional formatting. You see them, they are here existing, so you delete this, you delete this as well, and your data set will go back to normal, no more format here and that. So let's look at a larger data set as well for sales data set in an organization, and let's use conditional formatting to give visibility as well. Okay, sorry, Obianuju, you are raising your hand. I didn't say that.
Yes, good evening. I wanted to ask a question.
Okay.
So on Excel, it doesn't show, you know how when you click on the conditional formatting, how you can now select, like when you were doing yours now.
Hmm.
On I'm trying it out on my laptop as well. And
Hmm.
on Excel, it's not showing that way. So because once you select like the cell or the cells you want to apply the conditional formatting to, on Excel, it already shows on the home tab. When you click on home, there's conditional formatting there. So you
Okay.
click on it and it already shows you highlight cell rules, which I clicked on. And then it just says greater than, less than, between, equal to. So you just select whichever one
Okay.
and input the number. So 80. And I did okay. So that's how it appears on Excel. It doesn't, you know how your own, there's like a breakdown. You can now say add additional, I don't
Okay. What the
condition.
point you are making is that you cannot
It's
add
different.
another condition.
Yes, I'm trying to do that, and I do not know. I don't know if I can add another one.
Okay. Well, I'll look at that. Currently, you see, I'm working from Google Sheet.
Okay.
Are you using Google Sheet or Microsoft Excel?
I'm using Microsoft Excel. Okay.
Okay. I'm using Google Sheets and I'll look at Microsoft Excel, but I feel they are the same.
I think I've figured it out. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I think I've figured it out. Thank you. You can add, so you just keep clicking on that conditional formatting and keep adding whatever you want.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Mr. Coker, you raising your hand?
Yes, sir. Thank you for the lectures. Thank you for taking your time. Okay, so I was just waiting for you to finish. I wanted to suggest that because you're using Google Sheet now, I wanted to suggest that we could alternate this. Like for someone like me, I use 95% of the times I use Excel. And majority of the things you do here, I also do them in Excel, you know. So for me, I'm very much more conversant, and I believe from majority of the data analysis I've seen, as in data analysis work that I've seen, they are majorly done in Excel. So I wanted to suggest, sir, if we could also alternate between
Okay.
maybe Google Sheets and Excel, so it's a lot easier. Like what Obianuju was talking about now, I understand what she's trying to say. Obianuju, if you just want to, if you want to put a new conditional format, you just go to that same place and click on new rule. It gives you, just click on new rule and then just set the parameters and then you are good to go. So like it's a lot easier in Google Sheets, but in Excel, I think it's a bit more complicated. But if we alternate between them, I think we'll learn both of them.
Okay,
Thank you.
that is a very good suggestion. Although that, you know, the reason why I use all this Google and this is, you know, I've been teaching for a long time and I see so many students. I try to make things, some of you that have followed my pattern of teaching, I'll make sure that students who don't have any reason why you should not follow my class. Some will say they could not, like, we majorly, where I major, this is my first class in data analysis. In this tool, Microsoft project is a very big this thing and it's very costly. And a lot of students will always complain they can't. So that's why we invented Project Libre, which is exactly like Microsoft project. Then we'll have Visio for business analysis. Is costly, you know, but we have Draw.io, which is exactly the same thing. So I try to make things easier for us, not because we can't afford, but that is the major reason. And again, you see people to go and pay for Office 365. A lot of people struggle. I follow some students, a lot of them struggle. then I have to teach them that everything Microsoft gives you, Google give you to free. Like you see this Google Doc, Google Sheet, everything exactly. So, but you made a very good point, Mr. Kuka. I'm not going to overrule that. But I just wanted to tell you the reason why we started this our journey with all these Google products, because they are free, and I'm always looking at students to make things easier for them. Okay. But it's very good you brought this to my knowledge, because we have to make sure that everybody is comfortable at the end of the day. Mr. Ephraim.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Considering this topic on Excel and Google Sheet, I would say some people use Excel, some people use Google Sheet. But for the purpose of this class, I think the tutor be the one to tell us this is what we should use. All of them, both Google Sheet and Excel, they also have free versions, so that we'll maintain one and get and follow the class whenever it's being taught. Because if we say we use Google Sheet and we also use Excel, how are we going to do? Is it after teaching on Google Sheet, teach on Excel, which are the same thing, or exception of some functions? Some functions are not where you found them in Google Sheet is not where they are found in Excel.
Yeah, the main thing here, the main thing here is to understand the concept. That once you understand the concept, like now, if you know how to use a particular CRM system, it's going to be difficult for you not to use any other CRM system. Google Sheets and Excel is almost, they have it's just that where conditional formatting might be in Excel, a Google Sheet might be different from where they are going to be in this. And again, like some of these things, if you look at this, let me give you an example here, another example here. If you come here, okay. There's a lot of things you can do in Google Sheet that is very easy. Like you can create simple, like this particular value. You see it here is very simple in Google Sheet. If you want to create a drop-down menu in this Google Sheet, you see, but in Excel, you can still do that, but you can do that with a kind of a query, kind of a code, a line of code, and you do that. So these are where we have, and here you see pivot. A lot of things are very simple in Google. You see pivot table, we're coming to all these later, so let's not jump it. But this is what I've been using to teach for a long time, but we'll try to see about that if we are struggling trying to understand it. But you can as well, because this Google Sheet is free, there is anybody can follow it, even you that is using Excel, you can still, because this you don't have to pay for it, it's free. But some people might not be able to pay for this Excel at the moment. So these are the reasons. But let's get going, and I will look at if it becomes an issue to us, we have to deal with it. Is that okay? Let's just, for this night, let's just continue with what we are doing with Google Sheets. Is that okay, class?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Very good topic.
Okay, Nkechinyere, you are raising your hand. Let's hear from you. Nkechinyere Mark Jane. Okay, maybe is an error. So let's have another shot at this conditional formatting before we. Okay, let's look at a larger data set. This is a sales data set for the entire 1 year of a company. So, and they want to understand their sales trend pattern, and so you can use conditional formatting to give it a look. Anybody can just understand, because with this, is looking at this, it's going to be difficult to understand the performance, the sales performance of the company, the company's annual performance, how the company performed. But once we apply conditional formatting, we should be able to get a better insight. So we want to give this an insight which we can present to the chief executives, the business leaders, to give them a kind of insight about what is going on for the year. So, and we can use this conditional formatting to do that. So this is the table for different products: product A, product B, product C, product D, product E, for January to December. Now we've highlighted this, and we go to, we want to understand the one that is above 850, the value that is sales value that is 850. So just like what we did in the other one, go to format and go to conditional. And then this is the range A1 to F13. So that is A1 here, A1. This is A1, and this is F. This is column F down to range of 13. So that is our range. And then for the first one, we need to choose the value greater than 850. 850, and that is, so you can see this 850 above 850, or if you want to say 850 and above, greater than equal to, we say greater than and equal to, so it's going to be 850 and above, and we click. Then we add another value that's going to be less than less than 850. 850, and we'll give it another coloration and say yellow, or red is going to be too harsh, you know. But you can give it red so that the management will know where, or we can use fonts. Can equally use font here. Clear this. You can equally come here and say, you see, we can use fonts. So you see here, or let's just go back to and clear this and come back here and use red and click, and then so with this you have presented in a very nutshell. Everybody knows when the company started performing. You know, from the month of June, the sales department started performing. You know, although within the month of July, they had a bit of setback. So the company can say, okay, you guys have been performing so badly from January to May. And from June, the company started performing. You can just call and ask the sales manager, what is the secret? How did you do this magic? From month of June, you started performing. What is the magic? You see how you have given this data a very good insight, giving everybody now seeing what is going on. And then they had a kind of a drawback on the month of July, and they started firing again from August till December. Has been so good. And here you see product A. Since June, product A never struggled at all. Product E never struggled. And we want to understand, why did product, this is the worst performing product, which is product B. And you see, that is how you can use conditional formatting to give a data and insights and kind of beautiful visibility. So that's it. And I provided a lesson note step by step to do that if you are struggling. So it's going to be here. So everything is here. So that's it. So this is where we are going to stop. So within the week, let's play around. I'll provide this lesson note by tomorrow, and let us, all these data sets, use it to play around. Everything we've done, all of them are very important. You can see that almost everything we do here is very important in the workplace as a data analyst. So these are some of the simple things you can be doing for your organization as a data analyst without even using complex, creating dashboard or creating pivot table or using Power BI or using Tableau or even using Python. These are, most companies, these are kind of small things they want to understand. They don't even want these high robust visibility within Power BI. Just give them this simple visibility on daily basis, and this is, you are good to go with them. So do we still have any question trying to understand this? Kechinyere, I don't know if you are, if I should put your hand down or if you are still raising your hand, or are you with us? Are you listening? Okay. Okay, Ofo, you are raising your hand.
Yes, it is fine by me. It's just that was trying to work while you are doing it with the Google Doc, but I realized that as I split my system like a double screen, it's not coming up on. I had to open a Microsoft Excel before the screen was able to like split into two for me to see have a dual view. So on my own side, what I will do is maybe later I just have to now watch it while I do it in another laptop. So I think that will be fine. So thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Okay. Well, no. Okay, Ephraim, you're raising your hand.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm following through, but
we lost you. We can't hear you, Ephraim.
considering this analysis you made here, so am I right? Productivity. The only 3 months that they got a breathing space was August, October, November, December.
Yeah, you are breaking. I think you are trying to make a very good point, but you are breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? I said, considering the analysis you made here, a layman looking at it will understand that the worst performing product is that of product D.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes. With this, anybody who is looking at this sales performance for the year, because you see we covered from January to December, and this is the line of product they are selling. Let's say product A is shoes, women's shoes, for instance, those who are selling clothes, and they are, let's say this is Nigerian brewery, and this is Star Lager beer, this is different line of products, you know what I mean? So anybody at a glance, if this is maybe a new product, let's say Heineken, let's just say this product, this Heineken. Everybody looking at it will know that if for Nigerian brewery, will know that Heineken is really not performing at this point in Nigeria, and they want to ask a question. And if it's not really performing, if maybe it's a product they just tried and they can withdraw the product, or they can, this might be where the marketing department will have to come in and intensify their efforts, seeing that they are not really performing as supposed. Well, you're looking at this product A and product E, you can see that it will be very good to even make more budgets, and so that, because you see that people are really patronizing these products. So this is a very good data insights, and it's very simple analysis. It's a very simple technique you can apply, like the one I use for students. You can use it for students, those who fail and those who can just use it and paste it. People will see the level of failure or the level of like JAMB. JAMB can, as a board, can use that and see the amount of students that crossed 200 and the amount of students that scored below 200 in a year, and simple, or the subjects where students are performing and where students are not performing with this simple data, conditional formatting. So it's very simple, but it's very handy. It's a very handy technique. Yeah, Godwin. Godwin, you are raising your hand. Okay. These people are seem not to be hearing. Okay. Well, we're going to stop here for tonight, and I encourage everyone to play around. Data analysis is something we have to just play around and we'll get there. Mr. Godwin, you are raising your hand. Maybe you are struggling to unmute yourself.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was me.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let's assume that in an organization where you put up this formatting conditional this method of analysis, and you are asked to present it in diagrammatical or chart.
Yeah, if they want you to put it in a chart, then that is where we have to start creating pivot tables and charts. But we're coming to that.
Chart form. Can you still present this in as it has been done here to also present it?
So I get what you are trying to say. If they want to present a more robust analysis, then you are going to use a diagram, a kind of a chart. So at that point, we will have to create a pivot table. We're creating a pivot table, but we are yet to get there. So we are going to do this. We're going to present this kind of things in more details using pivot tables, graphs, but we're getting there, not now. So let us not jump because it's captured in our curriculum, pivot tables in Excel. So thank you guys for joining, and like I said, this is practice makes perfect. You will need to try it out before it's going to work, and we'll have to think about how to use Excel, Microsoft Excel, but like I said, they're all the same thing. So if you have any question, can still talk about. If you don't have any question, then our chart is yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But the main thing is that we're getting there. So at any point, the most important thing is that at any point, let's have something we are taking away. So for me, this conditional formatting is I like it so much. It gives you very quick method of giving insights to a data. So thank you guys, and
Thank you, Mr. Charles.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good night, all.
Yeah, good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.